Hello, my name is Lex Gaming and today I'm going to be talking about 10 games I think will get announced at E3 this year. First off, if you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe for more. Number 1. Saints Row 5. Yes, Saints Row 5. Now, even though Deep Silver has a bunch of franchises, like Metro and such, I think Saints Row 5 is going to be the next installment this year. Maybe it will come out next year early, but I think it will be coming out pretty soon after they announce it. It has been confirmed that Deep Silver is going to be at E3 this year, and it could be a very big announcement because the last Saints Row was not very good, and I think a lot of people lost interest in the franchise after that. But I mean, they would have to do something, like maybe go back in time, because as you know, spoilers, in the last game they blew up the earth. They could still make a very good game as long as they go a little bit more serious with it. Maybe the fans wouldn't be so happy if they went full seriously like in Rockstar games, but it could be a very good game, but they would have to work a lot on it. And even though I would much rather have another Metro game, but I think it's going to be Saints Row this year. Number 2. Shadows of Mordor 2. It has been 2 years since Shadows of Mordor came out, so it would make sense if they released it this year. Announced it this year, not released. And it would probably be coming out at sometime maybe 2018. Yeah, it was probably the best game of that year when it came out. It just had such dynamic boss fights and things, and yeah, it's even though the director of the last one unfortunately passed away this year, I think they could make a very good game, and we'll see. There's not much to talk about this because there hasn't been an announcement yet. Number 3. The next Star Wars game. Now the next Star Wars game could be absolutely anything. It could be an open world RPG, it could be a cinematic movie game, but I'm hoping that it will be something in the sorts of Star Wars Bounty Hunter, if you remember that old game on the PS2, which would make sense considering the movie Rogue One, which is basically about the bounty hunters in Star Wars, I think, will be coming out this year. And yeah, as they released Battlefront when the first movie came out, it would make sense. But we'll see, there's not much to talk about here either. Number 4. Single player DLC for GTA 5. Now, even though it has been 2 years since we last heard about single player DLC for GTA 5, I still think there's a chance that they will announce it at E3 this year, along with other games, because since they did release GTA 5 on the PC last year, so maybe they were waiting for, you know, all consoles to have it, except for PS3 and 360, before they announced it. But you know, it's a very small chance, but I hope if they do release a single player DLC for GTA, that it will be about, you know, zombies or something big like that, because now they would have to do something big, because it has been so long. But we'll see. It probably won't happen though.
May I interest you in some fine wares?
Number 5. Watchdogs 2. Now, the last game was very disappointing for most people, and I was one of those people. It didn't feel as dynamic as they first showed it, and of course the graphics were downgraded, but other than that, I think it has a very good base of a game, and it has already been rumored that Ubisoft are replacing this year's Assassin's Creed with Watchdogs 2, which would make sense because they actually have already announced that there will be no Assassin's Creed this year, and Watch Dogs 2 has been confirmed as a game that they are working on and are planning on releasing soon in the quarter year of 2017. So I think it could be a very good game, but we'll see about that. It could improve a lot on the previous game. It needs to improve a lot on the previous game. Number 6. Call of Duty World at War 2. Now, even though it's obvious that Activision are releasing a Call of Duty game this year, because they do it every year, I think that this year's installment will be World at War 2, because for a long time now people have been asking for World War settings instead of, you know, future and modern future settings that they have used until now. And yeah, it could be a very good game as long as they do a good single player campaign, because the last one in Black Ops 3 was not at all good. But I still have hope, and I think it will be a great game. As long as they focus on single player, that is. Well, not focus, but at least make a good one. Number 7. Battlefield 5. Now, even though I would much rather have Bad Company 3, EA has already said that this year's Battlefield will be a pure Battlefield, probably going back to Modern Warfare. But according to some rumors, there is not just Modern Warfare, this is going to be World War 1, but I very much doubt that. There's no way that they're going to go back to World War 1 in a normal Battlefield game. In that case, it would have to be Bad Company 3 or something. But I mean, that would be a great setting, but I highly doubt that. But all we know is this year's Battlefield is going to be announced at E3 2016, or at, you know, EA Play. But I think it's going to be a great game no matter what. Number 8. Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, 2K has announced that Rockstar is going to be at E3 this year with a very big announcement, and I think that means that they have two things to announce. And of course the first one was GTA Single Player DLC, and the other one I think is Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, the game is rumored to have drop in and drop out cooperative, which would be great, playing Red Dead Redemption 2 story with your friends, and apparently it's going to be called Legends of the West, and you're going to be playing as 3 characters. Now, I hope that this game is going to be playing out in somewhere around the Civil War, maybe after, maybe before, maybe during, hopefully during, and maybe those 3 characters are going to be on different sides, like maybe one is on the north, one is on the south, and maybe one is just you know, what do they call them, a mercenary. No matter what time it is set in though, I know it's going to be an amazing game, because Rockstar can make any atmosphere immersive, as they have proved in the past, even as a school bully. So I have no doubt that their next game is going to be another masterpiece, because last year, in my opinion, they released 4 different masterpieces. So hopefully we will see Red Dead at this year's E3. Number 9. Orange Box 2. Now, it has been a very long time since we got the last Volv game. If you count the multiplayer games, it was since 2013. And if you count the VR games, of course, it was last month, but I really don't count that. And yeah, if they came out, it turns out that all this time they had been working on Orange Box 2, collecting all the games before they released it in a whole package, I would be very impressed, but there's no chance of that happening. But you can still believe, I believe that this year's E3, Valve are going to be announcing Orange Box 2, and in that box is going to be Half-Life 2, no, 3, it's going to be Portal 3, it's going to be Left 4 Dead 3, and it's going to be Team Fortress 3. Now, you may believe me, you may not, you probably shouldn't, but since there has been several leaks from Valve themselves in their own games, where there has been files from Half-Life 3, I believe that they at least will announce a game at this year's E3. Maybe not the whole box, maybe they just haven't made any games because they were waiting for Source Engine 2. But we'll see. I think they will do something at E3 at least. Number 10, The Getaway III. Now, a lot of you probably don't know what the first games were. They were basically a realistic cinematic game that was in the vein of GTA, and they were set in London in modern times. So you got to play as many different people actually. You got to play as SWAT members, criminals, and all sorts of people, and you had no hood at all, so you basically had to rely on things like turn lights on your car when you were driving and you had set a waypoint, and yeah, you got to rest on walls as well if you wanted to recover your health. It was an amazing game for being in the PS2 era. Not that PS2 era games were bad, but it was a lot more realistic than any of those were. So I really hope that Sony does release the Getaway 3 for PS4, and they did work on a Getaway 3 in the PS3 era, but that was cancelled, and I think it became another game called something Days, and but I still hope that they didn't cancel it and just delayed it until the PS4 came out, because it was going to be coming out around the same time as Last of Us, but yeah, we'll see. I really hope that they come up with it, especially now that London Heist is coming out, which is from the same team. Anyway, thanks for watching, please like and subscribe, goodbye.